Hi friends! If you click to check out my June favorites in Get Ready With Me style, then please keep on watching. Hi, I'm Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeup, so head over to my Instagram. All timestamps will be down below with said product I will mention in this video. I like to conduct my monthly favorites as I get ready with me, as I feel it just adds a little more texture, a little more dynamic to the video. I could very much well talk about the products that I love, but it also helps me remember what I use. And I also think it's helpful to present why I love the product while in action. So with that said, I'm going to start actually with nail polish today. Yes, we're going to start with the nail polish today because I have quite a few things to share. I even had to separate them in different bags because oh my goodness. Now, two eyeshadow brands are black owned and woman owned. The first one I want to present is XXO nail polish. I will pop up a picture of the two yellows that I wore. I found this brand in Nappy Headed Hoba T, hi T, and one of her Nap fan members suggested XXO nail polish, and of course I saw XXO nail polish. I was like on the website within seconds, and I saw they had really beautiful curations of shades, mainly their pastels, and they have deeper skin hand models to present these colors in a way that I feel makes the consumer confident who has a similar skin tone to know that these types of colors will show up on them. And they also have a lot of curated sets that are inspired by the different regions and countries on the African continent, and the colors are just beautiful. And with those curations, you have information as to why the owner decided to include these said shades in the set. You're gonna have a ball, but I'm also gonna warn you, when you see these shades, just be strong before you go into this website, okay? Polish is amazing, super smooth. I found that I got full opacity with 2 coats. I went in with 3 because I just want that smooth, opaque, cream-like finish. I love the brush as well. It's regularly sized. It's not too wide, not too big, and I find fairly easy to apply in terms of the actual polish formula. I have a bunch more. I just bought a few here. I still have to wear these. I love these shades, the pastel lavenders and the light pinks, but they will appear this shade on your nails. They won't apply sheer because I ran into that problem, right? It will look opaque in the bottle, but when you applied it on your nails, you had to, build up the coats. But I actually just want to stick to at most 3 coats. But you could get full opacity at least at 2, I feel, depending on how you polish the nail. And they also have top coats and base coats. I bought a mini top coat and base coat set to travel with, when I go to Maddie's house. I will leave all the info down below. And XXO nail polish also offers half-size bottles, so they offer mini size bottles of the nail polish. I of course got the full size because I just know I'm going to use it. Okay. The second black-owned, women-owned brand I want to present is what's also on this hand is Jour Couture. Now, what stood out to me with Jour Couture is that they have magnetic multi-chromes. Ever since I encountered magnetic multi-chromes from Fun Lacquer, then rolled into Live Love Polish, I was hooked. I just love this effect. So basically, magnetic multi-chromes is that the pigments in the polish are magnetic and use a magnetic tool to shift the pigment. So it creates this 3-dimensional effect on your nails, not only just how it moves, but with the colors too. So the colors shift from green to magenta. I mean, there's a lot going on. And I applied a flaky Aurora holographic top coat on it as well. Okay, I wanted my nails to look like the galaxy. Polish I have on my left hand is Hibernate, and Jour Couture spells these in very creative ways. This is the magnetic multichrome that unfortunately is not available as a single. It's sold out, but it is still available in their winter 2019 set. And the reason why I wanted to present this set is because the other polishes that come in this set, fam, let me tell you, the 2020 Hollow Aurora Flake Topper is what I applied on top of Hibernate. It has like the Aurora shift with the hollow glitters and the iridescent flakies. Like, you can't, the effect it gives is amazing. Amazing. This other one, Merry and Bright, This looks similar to one that I have from Live Love Polish, but I think this one has a little more glitter chunks in here. Is absolutely beautiful. The effect is out of this world. You will not be disappointed, especially if you like these types of finishes and effect. If you're more of like Triple O, because Triple O has great iridescent toppers as well. This I feel from Jour Couture with more magnetic multichrome. It plays more with the different effects of the hollow and the iridescent and the aurora finish. So I wanted to present those two because I feel they definitely speak to different parts of the nail polish demographic. You have those that myself, I love a clean cream polish, but I also have these days where I'm like, give me the galaxy on my nails, okay? Another indie polish brand I want to present is Pop Polish. Shout out to Pam again for letting me know about this brand. They're sold on Etsy. So of course I will link down their Etsy shop. But look at these freaking neons, fam. Look at the neons. The finish that caught my eye was their neon Mylar. These have just crazy beautiful iridescent finishes, and I find for these to really pop, for instance, I would apply the Misfits over like a neon cream, right? So it could really just pop on the nail and you could see that flip. And the other shades I got from their Pride collection, love how on the toes, forget it. And we have candy coating. I just love these shades. Now, because they are neon, and as I suspected, the formula does dry rubbery, but I assume because of the richness of color, they probably have to use a certain formula to get this shade. And I wouldn't go without applying a top coat on my nails anyway. So I would highly, highly recommend if you do get the Pop Polish neon colors, whether they be from the Neon Pastel collection or the most recent Pride collection, definitely have a top coat ready to brush over the neon creams, or you could apply any of the neon Mylars on their own. I'm not crazy about these on their own. They're good, but I love like a really impactful shift, and I feel they show more if, for instance, you apply this on like a lavender solid purple or a more neon pastel pink. The shift is gonna be crazy. And last but not least, what I have on this hand is no other than the Holo Taco Rainbow collection. Unfortunately, this specific collection is sold out. The minute I discovered it was going to be sold, I was on that website refreshing. As you know, it comes with 7 linear holographic polishes, and the inside of the box has the linear hollow to represent the linear effect in the polish. You got all shades of the rainbow here. I think Christine did an amazing job. And of course, linear hollows are not new to the indie nail polish scene. Cupcake nail polish has been selling linears forever. I just love this collection and how it was presented. And also Christine has a how-to gradient on her Holo Taco channel. And this is how I created the Holo gradient with red licorice, magenta jelly, and orange drink. And this is just so, I can't stand it. It's so much fun to do, and you can do different colors. You could do red, green, blue, or however you want to mix it up. You can have all the colors on one hand, okay? And the hollow effect, you have to hit it either with natural light or a flashlight from your phone to really see that rainbow shift. It is to die for. And the polishes themselves, some of these shades, you get full opacity in one coat, and it's kind of insane. Kudos to Christine. This is a marvelous collection, and I have been having a blast all of June with all my nail polishes. My goodness, but those are all my nail polish favorites, and I don't know if I'm going to stop anytime soon because it just seems it's just more and more and more just keeps on infiltrating my space. Want to present to you some shoes, some favorite of the month. These are from Sorel. They're the Kinetic sandal. Unfortunately though, this particular color combination, the only size, I was gonna say shade, we're not talking about makeup yet, Alicia, is 5.5. I have the 6. I just love the construction of the sandal with this wedge heel that gives you a little lift, and the footbed is very cushioned and the straps are soft so they don't cut you. And the straps here too, they're not made of like that same material. It's like a fabric material. And you have the Velcro tab, which I feel just makes for easy on and off. And they're really comfortable sandals with a little bit of style. It's like a street style type of sandal that if you don't want to wear something more traditional, you want a little bit of pizzazz from the color, you want something different from the actual design, these are great. They have a bunch more with a different color scheme, and of course with the black and white. I will post the product page down below so you can take a look. But I love those things. I get so many compliments wearing those shoes because I haven't seen them around, and I took a chance when I saw them on the website. I'm like, I don't know how these are gonna fly. They fly. Really nice to walk in, and I like that little bit of a heel. It's not too much, especially if you have flat feet. It just kind of gives you a lift, but again, the construction is almost like bouncy foamy, so it's not very hard. It has some give when you walk. Really great shoe, and I'm so happy that I bought them, and I've been wearing them a lot for the month of June. Now that we spoke about that, why don't you come in a little closer? That's enough. Before we go into foundation, I have been using this product for the last, dare I say, 2.5 months. I found out about this brand from Dr. Dre. This is the Glytone Antioxidant Vitamin C and E Serum. Now, I'm kind of exhausted from all these mainstream skincare brands. I got tired of them. I got tired of the pharmacies, of the Metropolis, of the drunk elephants. I just got tired of it because I felt there was nothing for me to justify that high price tag when it was just so much marketing and of course laden with fragrance, and I didn't really feel confident in the formulas. I think of Glytone as like a SkinCeuticals, very no fuss, no muss, clinical, quote unquote, in terms of their approach, very straightforward, kind of the same category as in a Paula's Choice, fragrance free. Again, no frills, no bells and whistles. This particular vitamin C serum caught my eye because it's made with a vitamin C derivative, tetrahexyldecyl, THD. And the reason why I went for it is because typical vitamin C, less ascorbic acid, is known to be the gold standard of vitamin C. There's not a lot of data to support that once it gets exposed to light and air, when it actually gets applied to your skin, how effective it is in warding off free radicals. And THD is a lot more stable form of vitamin C, and THD is known for overall brightening. So not only are you going to get that antioxidant benefit, you're going to get the benefit of overall evening the skin tone, of brightening the skin so it doesn't look so dull. So I feel this is an all-around solid antioxidant product that is very expensive. It is, but I don't have a problem spending this amount of money because when you see the ingredient list, everything that they say is in here to be like the main stage ingredients, there are on top of the ingredient list. And it doesn't smell like vitamin C. Like, I cannot stand that L-ascorbic acid smell. Like when you did try the SkinCeuticals CE ferulic, I just smelled that on me all day and it drove me nuts. And it has a really nice gel serum-like texture that absorbs right away. It just feels nice when you apply it, and it leaves behind a really plush-like texture on the skin. So I've been using this for quite some time. If it wasn't because I picked so much, I would have probably seen a difference in overall brightening. But I have to say, I felt like my texture for all the months that I've used this during appeared smooth, and my makeup laid on really nicely. So I feel overall, I don't know how much antioxidant activity is going on, but I do really love the texture of the product. And if there is some antioxidant something going on, I feel like this is a great supplement to my sunscreen. Well protected against pollutants, environmental stressors, anything that could wreak havoc on your skin. I feel the Glytone Antioxidant Serum has been doing a phenomenal job in that department. I applied it today alongside my Good Molecules Priming Moisturizer. I should be wearing sunscreen because I am technically sitting in front of my window. I'm taking a chance. I know, not good. Technically, you should be still wearing sunscreen even if you're inside, but if you're in front of the window, the UVA rays penetrate glass It's okay, I'll survive. Favorite foundation of the month, have to give it to, yet again, another Black-owned, women-owned brand. That is Uoma Beauty Say What foundation. This has been out for quite some time. I'm late to the game. I was apprehensive because when I was looking at the ingredients, it had fragrance, but then I saw they were having a sale and I wanted to support. So I'm like, just forget the fragrance, Alicia. You already broke your fragrance rule 10 times over, so why not? I have the shade Honey Honey T1N, and what I really loved about this foundation, I'll apply it now. The shade is probably the most neutral I have in all of my foundations. The only other neutral tone is the Shiseido, but that's still a little more golden in hue. It's very liquidy. It reminds me of the Pat in terms of consistency, but what I appreciate is that it's so lightweight, but it has really great coverage, and I love how it layers. I did one pump as you saw, and I first stick with that as the first layer, and then if I feel I need more coverage, I'll go in with another layer. Depending on the primer, sunscreen, or moisturizer you use to prep your skin with, I feel will influence the dry down, the texture of this foundation. When I apply it over my Good Molecules, it does leave behind like a nice soft matte finish. I think they refer to it as like a radiant soft matte finish. So it's not luminous or dewy, but it doesn't look dry and dull on the skin, although it does dry matte. I feel this texture is ideal for now, the summertime. If you do find yourself in a humid climate, in a very hot climate, the texture is very skin-like and finish. It doesn't feel heavy at all, and you can definitely adjust the level of coverage. So I went in with another half pump because I want to put a little more here over my hyperpigmentation, and I feel comfortable doing so because, again, the lightweight nature of the formula, I feel, makes it easy to layer without it feeling heavy on the skin. Using my Marc Jacobs Phase 2 is either this Phase 2 or the BK Beauty Contour Foundation Brush. And despite its lightweight texture, I feel it covers very well and it layers very well. So if you're one to go in with 2 or 3 pumps at a time, I would say maybe start with 1 just so you can control the coverage and see what that yields you first, and then you can make any adjustments from there. But I think it covers beautifully. It is a little too neutral. Like if you see my neck and you see my face, I'm okay with that because when I go in with bronzer and all that other stuff, it will even out. But this is probably my most neutral undertone foundation that I have in my collection, most definitely. Alongside the foundation, of course, I had to pick up the Stay Woke concealer as well as the Double Take Contour Sculpt and Strobe Stick. It was all in a set. It was on sale. I was like, okay, let's do it. Honey Honey T1. Now, the way everything is set up on the website, once you know your foundation shade, since I'm like a honey honey shade with my neutral undertone choice, the products are laid out where you get the honey honey stick, or if you're a brown sugar shade, you get the brown sugar stick, or you get the honey honey concealer. So it makes it really easy, especially now since we have to buy a lot of, if we choose to, complexion items online, to figure out which concealer, which foundation, which contouring product will be best for our skin tone. Now, I was a little weary of the T1 because the T1 has a little more golden hue to it than the foundation, which is fine. It kind of all melts together, so I'm not really too pressed about it. Perhaps it works out because the golden undertone of the concealer kind of cancels out any darkness. I like the concealer too. I feel the concealer is between the Pat McGrath and the Dior Forever Skin Correct. The texture is a little more creamy than the foundation, and it has really nice coverage. It actually reminds me of the dry down of the Hourglass. It has like that soft matte dry down. It's not dewy in finish. Dare I say, it's not as, it doesn't dry down the same like the Power Fabric. I don't really have a lot of dewy concealers in my arsenal. I tend to stay more towards the soft matte or even maybe the satin finishes. But I would think It's definitely soft matte satin in terms of the texture dry down spectrum. And you don't need a lot. I only tapped a little bit under the eyes and I felt it covered very well. Drier under eyes, maybe use less or maybe kind of mix it with another concealer that's a little more emollient. But I feel if you use a sponge, then it will successfully press the product nicely into the skin. But I do think when I was watching reviews on this concealer that it is dry skin friendly. I think it all depends on how much you use and what tool you use to apply it with. But I'm very happy with the shade, with the concealer and the foundation. I've been using it all month. I've been mixing it with the Pat, with the Hourglass, with the Chantecaille Future Skin. I've just been doing a lot of concoctions just so I could like get a feel. Ideally, I would mix this in with the Pat so I could get a little more warmth, but this is where the stick comes in. I have it in the Honey Honey shade. Now the Honey Honey contour side is you know, it got some richness to it. So what I do, take some on the back of my hand. I'll take my BK Beauty 106 and then I'll punch it in. So that just gives me a little more control. I love the texture of the stick as well. It's not too emollient, but not too dry either. I feel is an ideal texture to apply. The color is amazing. It has a little bit of red to it, which I appreciate. You know, considering that I do use this shade, at least for bronzing. The shade up probably will be a little more neutral, cooler in tone. But given that it's summertime, I'm not finding myself contouring a whole lot anyway. So although this shade for me is more of a bronzing, warming shade versus a contour one, I don't mind it at all. And it's just really easy to apply. Now, I will say if you want to apply the stick directly to your skin, be warned because it has a lot of color to it. So I wouldn't put more than that. If you go in with the stripe, be prepared to blend. It's going to be easy to blend, but it has, again, a lot of color to it. So that's why I like the placing it on the back of my hand first so I can have a little more control with the level of intensity I want it to show. But overall though, it's very easy to blend. It dries down to a natural finish. So if you're on the oily side, I would suggest that you set everything so it could have like that natural hue. Use a translucent powder so it doesn't cover the actual shade. Then with the highlight side, this is more of like a golden tone, really nice texture. And I just pat that on the cheekbones and it just gives the skin a beautiful golden glow. The texture melts, it's lightweight, fairly easy to use. I think fingers are the best application method for this stick, but you are more than welcome to use a sponge. You could just press it over and then press the sponge onto your skin with the product. So yeah, that is the Uoma face. I really love these products. I've been using them nonstop. Again, I've been mixing and matching, but it's nice to know that I can take this with me. It's just really easy to travel with. I have the bronze and the glow. If I didn't want to bring a separate powder bronzer with me, I could just use the shade and be good. You know what I'm saying? I will powder a little bit under the eyes, and this is a sample, it's a deluxe sample from Beautylish, the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra-Powder. Now, I think this is a standalone Hydra-Powder, and then they have the other Hydra-Powders in the different tints. This is a great under eye powder, let me tell you. It is so lightweight and it is blurring. It reminds me of the Pat. Most definitely. And while we're here, I definitely have to present another favorite in the tool category of things, Wayne Goss's artist collection. Now granted, Beautylish was really nice to send these to me. Thank you again, Beautylish, for just being so generous. These are my favorite brushes from Wayne Goss. Most definitely, hands down. Out of all the brushes that I have from him, these are just so well designed and thought out, versatile in use. I can't even tell you how many tasks I use these brushes for. And the one task I want to present, which we'll do now with the loose powder, I take the medium artist brush, just the tip of the brush, how it lightly crosses along the lower lash line, and it just places the powder there beautifully. Not too much, not too little. Oh my goodness me. And they're so soft. They just have such beautiful flow on the skin, and I love how they splay out so that you could, again, not only use it for the under eyes, but you could use it anywhere on your face. And despite the brush size, you could use this to apply loose powder all over, because just how it whips around, it just gets it on there fast. I'm telling you, man, it is exquisite. Exquisite. Another favorite. I didn't know that I needed these bronzers. You know how I am with bronzers, fam. I can't help myself. This, I think, was like the MAC summer bronzing collection. I wasn't even checking for it. I wasn't. But then I was like, they were selling out. People were loving them. The Radiant Matte Bronzing Powder, I got them in both shades, in Totally Taupeless and Beige-ing Beauty. Who knew? Who knew? The compact is absolutely gorgeous. I love this freaking compact. It's so summery, so appropriate for the season. These powders are crazy smooth. Really smooth. I was shocked. And I don't really know the family of bronzers in MAC. I'm not sure how they roll. I don't know if, because Give Me Sun was like a skin finished formula. But this isn't a skin finished formula. This is more of a traditional powder. But it's so creamy. And I just love the shades themselves. I wanted to quickly compare it to Char's. This is medium in the airbrush bronzer. And the textures remind me of each other. So Beige-ing Beauty has a little more punch than the medium shade from Charlotte, which is why I really loved it. And Tan, I wanted to compare it to Totally Taupeless. So Tan has a little more of like a golden, it's leaning more warm, and Totally Taupeless has like that tawny type of red shade in it. I really like the shades a lot from these MAC bronzers, and they are smooth, fam. You're gonna watch, you're gonna see. Let's do Totally Taupeless on one side. These powders, Goss large artist brush, they just melt into the skin. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they did with this formula for this collection. And I didn't really set, I did lightly set with a Hydra-Powder, but it just sinks beautifully. Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I love these bronzers. What is happening? I definitely don't need it anymore. Definitely don't need any more. And now Beige-ing Beauty has a little more color than Charlotte Tilbury's medium, so I really liked it for that reason. And I'm just gonna press it in like I did with Totally Taupeless. So I just like I could get a little more from the first application, because Charlotte's medium I definitely have to build, which I appreciate, right? It's not a huge deal, but I definitely get a little more color from this shade. So this is Beige-ing Beauty, this is Totally Taupeless. You can see that Beige-ing Beauty is more of like leaning a little more golden. This is a little more tawny red, a little more of that sunburnt look. Look at that Uoma stick from the highlighter. We're not done with the highlighter, fam. Just want you to know. And this brush, the Artist Large, so versatile. Loose powder application, bronzing as you just saw, blush, whatever. I have a full-on demo using all these brushes. I mean, with any possible task you could think of. I will link all the corresponding videos down below as well for these products. This description box is gonna take me forever. And now with the face palette that I think people either love or hate, the Natasha Denona Bronze Cheek Palette. This is a phenomenal palette. I love it. I love it. I'm not telling you to love it, but I love it. Now, people were having a hard time with the Bounce Cream, and I was also told that some Bounce Creams had dried out already. Mine is doing okay. This is the Bounce Cream Glow that has just like a beautiful pink iridescent finish to it. And you could just put it anywhere, whether it's lower on the cheeks or you want it to be on the actual cheekbone. And I think the texture is mostly ideal with finger application. I don't think this is an ideal brush texture at all. You could try though, but I rather press these types of formulas in with my fingers. You get the Bounce Cream Blush that, oh my goodness me, it's like a rosy brown hue on me, but for on deeper complexions it's a highlight. If you want to check out It's Lori's Life, she is Pat McGrath Deep 31. The highlight the Bounce Cream Blush gives on her skin is like lit from within glow. It is absolutely gorgeous. Also check out Glam Girl Chelsea, Jordine from This Is Black Beauty, and whoever else reviewed this palette who's deeper than me, I would put down below. And this Super Glow Bronze, this is what sets it off, fam. It sets it off. I take some with my artist and just drape it over everything like I am ready, okay, for the rays. It is so beautiful how it layers over the cream products, and it just amplifies the look. That look of just luminosity, sun-kissedness. And on top of this, Artist Small with the Super Glow Nude. Stop it. I just tap it right there, and oh my goodness. The tones of these highlighters, they're just devastatingly beautiful. They add so much dimension to the look, and I think it just further enhances that bronze feel, that just sun-kissed summer mood. It's all there. It's all there. And of course, I had to get this all of a sudden turned into a mini haul. I'm sorry. I had to get another shade of the Suqqu blush. I had presented the Suqqu blush as a favorite last month. Oh my God. This is in the shade Urushibi. Urushibi. This is more of like a medium pink, which I think over this, just tap it over everything. Oh my gosh. This freaking blush, the texture is just so lightweight. You pounce it on and you're done. You don't need to do anything crazy thereafter. It's just, it is absolutely gorgeous. I know I'm looking real bronze. I'm looking real bronze. So with that said, once everything has been applied, I'll go in with my pat powder in the medium shade with a very soft brush. Like for instance, I'm just gonna wipe my Artist Large, make sure there's no blush on there, tap into the medium pressed powder from Pat, and just buff everything in. And the way this brush just whips everything around and melts everything into the skin is utterly phenomenal. I can't even, I'm out of words. At loss for words. All right, let me get these eyebrows on, prep these lids, and I'll be right back for my favorite eyeshadow palette of the month. My favorite eyeshadow palette for the month of June. I mean, was it gonna be anything else? I have a bunch of videos using this palette. Not only my initial review, or rather first impressions video when I first got it in the mail. I have a 4-look video using this palette. I compare it to the Artist Couture Supreme Nude. I compare it to the Natasha Denona Gold. I compare it to the Metropolis. I then compare it to the Sunset palette in Alive. And each and every time I use this freaking palette, it was a joy. We've seen the neutrals, we've seen them before, but to have Natasha curate these shades in a way that just makes every time using this palette just, it's amazing. I just love the shades in here. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I've been gushing over it with every video that I have filmed with it thus far. If you want to see those videos, I'll link them down below. They'll probably just be in the Natasha Denona playlist. But my goodness me, it's just I can't get enough. I cannot get enough of these shades, man. Definitely have to go in with Suntan because these mattes, they're just beyond smooth and definitely one of her best performing small size 15 pan palettes she has to offer. I mean, Suntan is just this color. I can't take it anymore. I could wear this across my lid and be done. Maybe put on some dark brown liner on the lash line, but that's it. I'm done. Taking a little bit of Suntan with my Sonergy Detail Pro and just grazing the edges so it just has a little bit of that gradient. Oh, so pretty. Now on the other side, I'll go in with Beige. I think Beige is such a beautiful shade as well. It's like a peachy brown, peachy tan. I mean, I could do these shades all day. And the way they effortlessly blend and melt into the skin is an experience I want to undergo each and every day. I think I'm gonna do Ridge on top of Beige now. I don't think I've actually done this combination. just to add a little more dimension near and around the crease. And these metallics, I know people are like, this is not really a bronze palette. I feel she was speaking to the full spectrum of bronze in terms of what exists in the metal family. And also when bronze rusts, it has this green tinge to it. And she included a lot of green duochrome crystals in these shades. I think it's just so clever. Let's do palladium maybe on this side. I'm placing that more on the inner part of the lid, and this is like a pink taupe. One of my most favorite shades in the palette, hands down. The metallics are just so easily pressed into the skin, and they last well throughout the day also. Definitely want to take gloaming, excuse me, gonna focus on me, and press that on the outer part of the eye. I love that shift. Such a unique shade. I can't get enough. I'm just taking a blender brush to zhuzh gloaming in the crease a little bit. It's okay if there's a little shimmer there. I don't mind it at all. I think it's just so beautiful. Now for this side, I want to go alloy. Alloy is so pretty. I don't know what it is about this shade. It has like a green shift to it that I feel so beautiful. Let's do magma as like the smoke for this eye. Going in my Refer number 2 brush with magma along the lash line to create that deep red smoke. That's so pretty. I'm telling you, I could use this palette every day and be happy. And that's saying a lot because you know I love my Pat. You know I love her so much. But I just love that I got 15 shades. Pat's offering me 10 and I can make it happen most definitely. But I'll be good with using the bronze palette for like a whole week without question. Suntan on this lower lash line. Beach on this lower lash line. A little bit of magma here on the outer third. Going in with Deep Dive. I think Deep Dive is probably my most favorite shade out of the palette. I know Palladium and Rhodium are like my bays, but Deep Dive just sneaks up on you. I just love that eggplant brown, how you could use a little or a lot. It just offers up beautiful smoke, but effortless. On these inner corners, True Copper on this side, and then Bliss, that pink peachy base with the green, the lime green crystals on this side. I'm actually going to apply Bliss on the inner corner. Silk on this inner corner, putting a little more ridge here. Little silk also on the innermost part of the lid, overlapping alloy. Although I've been wearing the Lip-Oh-Phoria glosses all since I received them, they're not my favorite formula. I just love the colors a lot. So with that said, as like an honorable mention, perhaps the Lip-Oh-Phoria collection from the bronze collection in tan nude, chestnut, and caramel. I have For Real here if you want to see. So For Real is like my go-to pinky nude beige, and I want to swatch it next to tan nude, which I think is going to be a little more, see, there's a little more, dare I say, it's not orange, it's just more tan, and there's more pinkiness from For Real. So let me do For Real on the majority, and I just prefer Pat's formula. I just think it's smoother and it feels better. And then I'll take a little bit of Natasha's Caramel on the outer portions. All right, let's apply some mascara. My good old L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And here's a wide shot of all my favorites of the month on the face. Thank you so much everyone for joining me on this Get Ready With Me style monthly favorites video. I love applying makeup with you and just talking about the products as I use them. I know it makes it longer, and that's why, again, I have the timestamps down below. So if you just want to scan the list and skip over to whatever product you wish to see more than others, you definitely have the option to do that. This bronze palette, again, I don't know what else to say. It's just marvelous. I know it's not that these colors are new. I just really love that this is bronze 10.0 for me in terms of the shades that she included, the tones of the shades, the types of textures she had in this palette, and it just makes it so versatile, not only on its own, but how well it can be worn with other palettes, not only from Natasha Denona, from any others in your collection. And it's a pleasure to use. Every time I use all these shades, it's like I'm using them for the first time. It really feels like that. And I'm just excited to keep using it, to combine it again with my other palettes and have this as my standout palette for the summer. And I wanted to do 2 different eyes just so you can see the versatility in this palette, because I know upon first glance you see, well, you could probably only do 1 or 2 or maybe 3 different eye looks. I feel like I did quite a few from my entire bronze eyeshadow playlist. I think I've created looks that look fairly different from each other, so you could take a look at those videos and tell me what you think. But yeah, I've had a blast this month. I try to slow it down because May was a little crazy in terms of the spending. I do want to do a dedicated video to Uoma Beauty because I want to compare my other foundation shades to the Say What foundation shade, as well as film a dedicated video to Suqqu because I just love their products. I recently just ordered the Extra Glow foundation from Selfridges. I cannot wait until it comes in the mail, and I just want to do a full-on dedicated video because if you were interested in Suqqu but you really didn't know much about it, then that is coming up as well. And yeah, let me know what else you want to see. I definitely want to do, or dive back in rather, to older palettes and do more 4-look videos with them. Like when I did Sunset in my live, I now want to do another video using Sunset because I just missed using that palette. Let me know what your favorites have been for the month of June, what you're looking towards, what's on your shop radar. And until then, fam, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, monthly favorites, get ready with me style video, multi-look video, or nightly life chit chat. Take care, and I will see you again soon.